Hey everybody, and welcome back to Emerald Coast. We're in day 2 of early autumn, and we have got a pickup to make down at the shop. We have ordered a ropa harvester to basically lease and use for our sugar beet field. And I got word earlier today that the harvester was in and was ready for us to pick up pretty much any time we wanted to. So we finished plowing field 22, one that we just picked up the other day, and took care of our animals. We needed to give them some power food and everything. And then we jumped in our truck and, well, now we're on our way down there to now we're on our way down there to pick up that ropa harvester and take it up there to field 4 to get picked up. Hoping we don't get stuck in the mud here. Let's drive up here along the field edge. And here we are. Right. We also need to fertilize field 22 and cultivate it, and see about putting some seed in the ground for field 22. Know what we're going to put back in the ground. We'll have to take a look at our planting schedule and figure out what might be best. They told me it was over here across the street. Oh, there she is. We'll see if we can just park our truck here in front of this old disc. It's been out here for years, and doubt anybody will ever buy it. Mind parking in front of this thing. Look at this huge thing. All right. Let's hope we don't encounter any traffic with this thing. They told me that the front head here will fold up, but not to engage it, simply because apparently it completely obscures your view. Don't want that to happen. See if anybody's coming, so let's just wing it. Oh, looked like we were good anyway. And what I said, like I said, we're going to put poplars back into this field once we get our sugar beets off of here. This should be pretty much the only time we need to plant sugar beets. The amount of sugar beet yield is so great, and the amount of beets that our pigs will eventually need is fairly low. In fact, we probably will have so many sugar beets that we'll be able to probably put a couple truckloads into the compost master. Rack up some pretty good money. In fact, thinking about it, that might be the best course of action, is to compost the sugar beets we get off this field, and then just buy the pig food. Well, that sounds like an interesting idea. I think just might fit that way. Alright, so Go ahead and check this. And we have sugar beets. We are definitely at the remove top stage this time around. If you remember during a live stream, it's not that. Remember during a live stream, I rented this exact harvester, I think, and came up here to do the sugar beets and discovered that it was not quite ready. It's a little embarrassing, sure. All right. See what kind of yield we get off of this field. So guys, in the Farm Sim 19 news, last Thursday, which was today, the day I'm recording this, but by the time this video airs, it will have been last Thursday, not yesterday. But at any rate, last Thursday, Giants released a teaser video for the European map. And while the video is only about a minute and maybe a minute and 10 seconds worth of actual footage of the map, boy, was that some pretty snazzy footage, I have to say. I was pretty impressed with what I saw and pretty eager to potentially see more. Now, of course, there was the disclaimer at the bottom of the video, basically saying that this was a work in progress still. But what a work in progress it was. I mean, the video starts out with an aerial shot of the sky. So we see the clouds that are going to be introduced in 19. And we see a bird kind of turning and diving down, you know, in some maps like South Mountain Creamery. We see now birds just flying a pattern in the sky and everything, but this was clearly a fully animated bird doing whatever animated birds do in the sky. And I am hoping that their animations are somehow randomized, or basically not predictable. That's one thing that worries me at this point is that maybe these animals are going to be just like cars, and that they will just basically do the same thing, same pattern, time after time after time after time, versus maybe like the nav mesh of an animal, where basically you have your nav meshes for your cows, pigs, and sheep, and you basically specify the animals can navigate in this area, and to some degree they navigate on their own and interact basically on their own. So what I'm kind of hoping for is that map makers do some type of nav mesh for the animals, for the birds and the deer and such, which would then mean that hopefully the movements are somewhat randomized, versus being static, constant. Birds always do this one thing in this specific area, you know, at a specific interval. And then we pan to some more scenic scenery. I kind of forget exactly what we see, but we do see clips of an electric train that runs off of power lines up over the track. So I've seen it mentioned in a Discord that curious if those electric lines will have collisions on them, with respect to when you drive over a a railroad crossing. Very interesting indeed. I'm hoping that they do have collisions on them. That would introduce an element of needing to plan and maybe think out one's route to get to and from maybe a field. If you've got, let's say, a cultivator that folds up and is fairly tall, or a harvester that is fairly tall, or something, that you might have to go an alternate route because you can't get under the power lines of the railroad crossing. We see the return of the waterfall. Now, I didn't play Farm Sim 15, but I have heard that there was pretty much a token waterfall on nearly every map. I'm only guessing that there was a waterfall on a stock Farm Sim 15 map, or maybe Farm Sim 13 map, and that's where the waterfalls have come from. So it looks like the waterfall has returned, which will be rather interesting. Then we see all kinds of countryside images. We see shots of the fields. We see shots of some fields. We've got at least a couple very square shaped fields, as well as some L-shaped fields. But one thing that we definitely see is that these fields are not flat. Lots of these fields are on a rolling hill, or a countryside, a hillside. That's what I'm trying to say. So that is an interesting element also. We go ahead and unload our beets here. Then we go in and we see some of the town, or a town that is a part of the map, and they seem to be cranking up the detail meter with this map. Telling me that the truck here doesn't take. Let's see here. Very interesting. Out. Pull over. There we go. Alright. So we see screenshots of the town. Kind of a road that goes up a hill, up a hillside, and several houses lining the road. And wow, that shot is quite impressive to see from the standpoint of just details. You know, the houses, they're all different shapes to some degree, definitely all different colors and everything. So lots of different housing models and whatnot. See shots of what are presumed to be cell points on the map. A couple of shots are of some buildings that are close to the train tracks. It's only presumed, would be presumed, that those are cell points. And there's a shot where there is some metal or aluminum, something shiny, bins, and then a different texture, more like a painted but rusted up texture on another bin. Then you got that shine of the sun off of those. That was it's quite impressive, I thought. We see the European train I mentioned. We see shots of it where it doesn't have a character in it. Like if you do FS17, you ride the train and you go third person, you can see the train and you see the player in the train. But on this preview video, you don't see a driver in this train. It's kind of. Is it alluding that maybe train will be animated and not stationary, like in 17, where there was the Loco Train mod that would allow the train to just drive around without someone in it? So is that functionality going to be part of 19 by default? That would be pretty interesting. It's a really awesome shot of aerial shot looking out over the farmland with the old castle ruins, kind of up on a hillside. You see a road winding around the farmland, coming up and around this high hillside to like a town on the opposite side of the hill. So that was pretty slick and really, really awesome. You have images of the water. If you look close on a couple shots of a bridge, you kind of see the water. We don't have that super crystal clear water being shown that we see in 17. We've got kind of a murky, muddy looking water. So that's pretty cool. Sure, you all have seen it. Sure, you've seen at least one person doing a video where they kind of break the video down, so to speak. I've seen videos of those. I've seen thumbnails, I should say, of those videos. I haven't watched any of them at this point, and I'm not sure if I am going to watch them, because I'm not sure that I'm really concerned with what they're breaking down, so to speak. I don't know. My opinion might change over the next couple days. Well, this truck did not hold. This truck did not hold very many beets. I'm gonna need to probably make many trips to and from. Might benefit us to bring the other semi over here to the field next time we fill up this truck. So you may have noticed the return of the conversion mod down in the lower right, the HUD, and that is because I have heard that the conversion mod was now compatible with the Graves mod. Again, for those that have been watching the live stream versions of this series, you'll know that we played with the Graves mod for a few streams, but ultimately I took it out because I discovered, or not the Graves, the conversion mod. I took the conversion mod out after a few streams because I discovered that it was interfering with the Graves mod's function. Basically, cows and sheep were not getting the grass they were supposed to from the Graves mod. The only thing that was different was that we added the conversion mod to the game. So when I took the conversion mod out, then all of a sudden the graze mod kicked in and fed up the animals. So did test on this map. I went ahead and added the graze mod, and then I fast forwarded time through I think about 2 game days and validated that the graze mod was indeed still feeding the animals the grass. So once I validated that, I'm like, okay, she's back in. We'll enjoy using the graze mod, not the graze mod, the conversion mod, because, well, it's just units that I understand and I have a little bit of reference to, versus seeing everything in liters, which, to be quite honest, has no real reference for me. See, sugar beets are measured in pounds. We've got 21,000 pounds per acre is our approximate yield, I would say, or is our approximate harvest rate. And we have 338 gallons of fuel. You're consuming fuel at a rate of 61 gallons per hour. Oh. Now, certain things like Glance up there is still reporting our capacity levels in liters. See, we've got 5,733 liters. It's not. There we go. Somehow I turned off the head of the harvester. I turned the harvester header off, and I wasn't harvesting any beets. Glad I was looking up at Glance and noticed that why is my fill level not going up? Let's turn back around and take care of that. And at that point, I think we will have enough headland space on either side. We will be able to simply start doing GPS up and back, up and back. I hope you guys are enjoying the South Mountain Creamery streams. Just started them up. So, able to have a few streams by the time this video comes out. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm enjoying the map quite a bit at this point, and I knew I was going to enjoy the map when, after I did my map video, I pretty much just couldn't stop thinking about when was I going to start gameplay on the map, and what was the gameplay going to basically look like, and everything. And for what felt like several days, I was thinking, oh man, fixed to work. So for several days I was thinking, I really am looking forward to getting started on South Mountain Creamery, and it really felt like a lot of days had gone by, and I hadn't hadn't started the gameplay. And and I finally started the streams. And I looked at my my video history, and I saw that the South Mountain Creamery video had basically come out just a week earlier. And I'm thinking, oh, are you serious? I had just done that video a week ago, and you know, it seemed like 2 or 3 weeks had gone by from the time I did that video till the time I started playing the map, but really it had just been a week, or actually probably less than a week. So, you know, that I guess that kind of is an indicator of where my mind was with respect to just wanting to get on that map for some reason. And I don't know if you saw the stream, but we learned there is a mouse that runs around the farm and around the store area. That's pretty cool. Yeah, we chased the mouse around and everything. Just looking at this ropa, and got a drive shaft that's rotating here. See it rotating. We got knuckles, transmission knuckles in here, everything. It has quite a bit of detail going on with it for you know, for a sugar beet harvester that I don't know how many people actually harvest sugar beets and everything. And we should probably, I guess, be we should probably be running the crab walk on this, but kind of worried that the crab walk would have us driving over the sugar beet crop. Probably doesn't. Probably set to not do that. Never know. Guys, we are, to my shock, we are already close to our 30-minute time window. What's this? I'm going to go ahead and start to close out the video. So we're going to go ahead and finish this sugar beet harvest. And I'm just going to dump all of these beets in the compost master. And we're just going to buy pig food once we get around to buying our pigs. Because we're going to need to look at seasons here. And we look at pig prices. Pigs are going to be cheap soon. Pigs are going to be cheap in 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 days is going to be the best day to buy a pig. We're going to need a fair bit of money to buy our pigs, hence composting our beets. And we're going to get a lot more money out of these beets by putting them through the compost master than we will selling them, you know, at the sell point. And given the yield that these darn things put out, I think that's the best idea for us, is to just sell these or process these sugar beets in the compost master. Unloading this to our truck. I have matching trucks. That. So your truck here holds 18,000 pounds, almost 19,000 pounds of sugar beets. So guys, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close out the video. Hope you liked the video. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and consider subscribing. Doesn't take long. Just punch that little subscribe button. Tick the little ding bell, the little bell next to it, so you can get notifications of future content. We do map videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've started streaming South Mountain Creamery on Mondays and Wednesdays, and the occasional Friday. Some Fridays I'm going to be preoccupied going to a high school football games with my daughter, but on the off weeks when she doesn't have to play band at those games, I will be streaming then. And we're going to be releasing Emerald Coast videos, at least for some time period, on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But don't be surprised if we don't fall back to a Monday and Friday schedule. Until next time, happy farming.